Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for a webinar on defending against unauthorized access and advanced threats. Uh, I would like to lay some ground rules here. We would appreciate if all your queries and questions were posted to us at rinchen@proati.com. Meanwhile, all of you have been put on mute. If you have any queries, please post them in the questions tab. What we're going to do in today's session is we're going to have a 10 minutes of presentation, which is essentially going to be on the current IT environment and why there's a requirement for detecting advanced threats and how ProAti will help you resolve those issues. That will be followed by the product demo of one single module of ProAti, the Identity and Access Management module. So what's happened in the IT space is there's a lot of externalization and consumerization of IT, which means that your data and services are in the cloud now. Everyone is accessing everything from everywhere. And we have the IT, shadow IT in terms of mobile and BYOD devices. So resulting in a world of devices, software services, applications, and IoT devices. So we have data going from different devices to the cloud and back again, communicating to the different devices. All of this results in a lot of non-compliance issues, internal threats, delayed access, no real-time prevention, anomalies and threats, data loss, multiple applications logins, fraud, password reset calls, non-standard policies, unauthorized access. There are times when there's still access available to exited employees. There's lack of visibility and lack of alerts in the whole environment. Now, is this an IT security provider's problem? So what we understand is that the IT is ill-equipped to handle the challenges that come with organizations' risk-fragmented, complex hybrid data location environment. Resulting in limited data about how or how many applications, which applications are being used, how and from where. So there is a lack of insight. The IT people as of today don't know how to assess the risk associated with different actions and behaviors, much less control it. So there's no lack of control. And the traditional and endpoint security measures are not effective anymore. So there are lack of tools on how to control the risk that arises from different activities. Some of the studies have resulted in showing us that about 90% of the organizations have security concerns. About 43% are very concerned about the security, and another 43% are moderately concerned about the security issues. The biggest application security concerns that are there today come from unauthorized access, which could be through misuse of employee credentials and improper access policies. Then another 61% comes from hijacking of accounts, and another 43% comes from malicious insiders. Sometime back, if you looked at the statistics, the inside threats were a lot lesser, but slowly we are seeing that they would probably grow up to 60% of the total threats that a company faces. Some of the other concerns which are a little lower on the risk are malware, denial of service attacks, and other direct attacks. Now, the solution to this that we've come up with is a product called ProAti, which is a security behavior analytics and access broker. It centrally manages identities and access. It monitors and protects access to internal and cloud applications. It analyzes privileged activities and protects against data leakage. And it empowers the users and application access control. We're going to go into different modules of ProAti to see how this is done a little later. So this is the next generation approach. If you look at it, we have a centralized security behavior analytics engine from the cloud access broker. From the cloud access broker, you have inputs into the security behavior analytics engine on the user profile. Also, it sends the security policies, identity and access management policies, which allow access for users into hosted apps, internal apps, and cloud apps. And what comes into the security behavior analytics engine is time-enriched data, location of user, devices, user activity, all of which is stored in the warehouse as patterns of behavior. And any change in the behavioral patterns results in action or prevention, or even alerts and alarms depending upon your company policies, which are sent back to the cloud access broker. And all this results in fraud detection, inner and outer advanced threat, and data leak detections. Now, as we go into different modules of ProATI, the first one is identity management, which allows you to do identity provisioning, deprovisioning, and directory authentication. So it gives you a comprehensive identity and access management console. It also gives you centralized access administration for pre-integrated software service applications and other cloud-based applications. Now, secure business processes with advanced access and management capabilities. So your apps are ready whenever you are. The next module that we have in ProATI is the activity visibility, which allows you to monitor the activities, helps you with log management, and any anomalous alerting that is required. So it has built-in security features, essentially security reporting that tracks any inconsistency in access patterns, analyzes it, and sends an alert. It is also a step up to multi-factor authentication to ensure the right person is accessing the right application. The next module is the data leaks module, which has the user pattern, behavioral pattern analytics, as well as data leak protection, as well as the policies for DLP. It basically monitors privileged user activities. Again, security reporting that tracks any inconsistent patterns of accessing, analyzes them, and raises alerts and alarms. And the data leakage protection for inconsistent behavior patterns in data usage. The access broker empowers the users. It allows for single sign-on, it allows for two-factor authentication and access management. So essentially what it does for the user is allows you to access your applications from multiple devices through a single identity and multiple applications. It also allows you to have a self-service password reset, and it also gives you the option of having delegated group management for cloud users. What we're going to move on to now is the demo for identity and access management. For any queries, please call or mail on 9711727309 or RinTChen@proati.com, and we will revert back to you. We will start the product demo now. So we are to begin with logging in as an admin in ProATI. The moment you log in as an admin, you see the company global dashboards that are available. But since we're just going to address the identity and access module today, we would be going directly into the access broker module. As soon as you come into the access broker module, you will see a host of dashboards. These are the apps that have been configured. If you look on the right side, you have the application filters, which allows you to see which applications support provisioning, which applications support a single sign-on, and those applications can either be disabled or enabled. So if you look at the each application has an edit application configuration or disable and enable applications. Now we go into the applications in itself. So what we have here is a list of applications that are already configured. You can add new applications. So these are the new applications. So for example, we add SAP application, and when we go back to the applications, we'll see that there's a new application that has been added. All right. So that's what we do with the applications. Right, and you can also add a totally new application which is not configured at this point, and these are the fields that you would have to fill to add a new application. Now we move on to the Access Broker. So in Access Broker, we will first do the groups and the rules. So essentially, if you click on the groups, what you will see is the various groups that have been created, and each group can have applications assigned to it. So we'll add a new group now. And we've created a demo group here with 0 users and 0 applications as of now. Now, roles are very similar to what we've done for the groups, but now we will go to the access control because that is what actually allows applications to be configured to a particular group. So we say add new, and we have the demo group which has no applications associated with it at this point of time. So now we are adding Zendesk as an application to the demo group, and we save it. So now when you go into groups, you have one application associated with the demo group which we've just added. Yeah, so that is Zendesk. Now so roles are very similar to groups. Again, access control would assign applications for different roles. Now we will move on to the users tab. Now in the users tab, what we're going to do is we're going to add a new user, assign him to a group and role, which will automatically allocate some applications to him based on those groups and roles. And then we will go into the user and we would also add some privileged privileged access for that particular user. And then we will log in as the user to show you how it automatically gets provisioned, and there is a single sign-on applicable for that user. So we will add a new user now. The username. Now, if you look at the password on the right side, there are certain policies that have been set for the password. And the moment you have all the policies are met, it will automatically get all the greens on the right side, and you can go ahead with the creation of the new account. Now, we're assigning the user to some groups like Leo HRM, Leo PM, and ProAdI Salesforce. And now we are within roles, we could assign different roles. As of now, we're assigning the role of a member to this particular user. Now we will also allocate some privileged access to this user for Leo HRM, Leo PM, as well as the third application, Salesforce.com. And we save the user. Now, what is we will be logging out as the admin and logging in as the user. It takes about 40 to 50 seconds to configure at the back end for user different groups, roles, and assign him to those applications. Some of the applications like Salesforce, since they are in the cloud, might take a little longer time. So now we'll log out as the admin. And now we're logging in as the user AJ. So this is the so we are just looking for aging again here. All right, now when you log in as agent, this is the portal that you'll see. You will see all the applications that are assigned to you. You can see Leo HRM, PM tool, as well as Salesforce. If you click on PM tool, for example, it will, using single sign-on, log into PM tool. Yeah. So there we are in Austin Jane has logged in into the PM tool using single sign-on, and they have been provisioned into that particular application. All right. So now we're going to log out of this and go into the admin again. All right. So as privileged user, now when you go into privileged users, you will see Ajane, who was just assigned a role of privileged user in Leo HRM, has been you see Ajane in Leo HRM as well as Leo PM and Salesforce. Now in security policies, what we can do is how many people are provisioned, how many so you can see in Leo HRM there are 21 people provisioned, in salesforce.com there are 11 people provisioned. In password management, like you saw when we were adding in a password for Ajane, you can set password policies. You can set different questions and things like that to ensure that the access policies match your organization requirements. Now we'll go into the access policies. Now here you can select various attributes. So for example, we select geolocation. Now there is a possibility that a person always logs in from a particular geolocation, and if there is any change in that, you would want an alert or an alarm to be raised, and that policy can be set here. Now, configuration is generally something that we at Leo Technosoft would do for you, but it allows you to take a look at your tenant admin list, etc. Now we will go into notifications. This is, as you see, the activity notification. It allows you to take a look at what all activities have just happened. If you look at the username Ajane, application Leo HRM, and they were assigned to the application, similarly assigned to Leo PM and Salesforce application. The health of the system allows you to take a look at whatever is the current health of the system. And if there are any anomalies, they'll come up in the anomalies tab. So if there's a geographical location change, it's showing that description IP has changed from one particular IP to another one, and action has been taken, or an invalid user authorization. So this allows you to take a look at the anomalies that are there. Now, application request is something that a user puts in. From a user's point of view, the user can apply for an additional application, and those requests would be available here. You can either approve those requests or you can reject those requests. So if you look at the top, you have the accept and decline. So you can either accept an application or decline an application. So now, having done all these activities, we will briefly go back to the dashboards to see if these are reflected on that. So we're looking at the project management tool activities, and you see Ajane is reflected there as the privileged user who has done certain number of activities there. So the logs are available over here. That is it for our demo today. If there are any queries that you have, you can send them to rinchen@proati.com. And if you would want to call, you can call up at 9711 727309. Thank you very much for joining us for the webinar.